Would you call it a hobby or a side job?
Which one are we talking about?
RPS.
Oh, that's a sport.
It's a sport. Okay. So you could say you're sort of an athlete, like a bowler.
I call it strategic athletics.
RPS stands for
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
How did you get into RPS?
I saw a blurb in, I think it was the City Paper, or the Philadelphia Weekly, one of the two. And so Rock, paper, scissors league, and I was like, this is interesting. Figured I'd check it out.
That was the first year. So the first year you started was the first year RPS was
Yeah, I may have started actually the second night. I mean, not outside of, settling arguments, never competitively, never for an actual tournament setting. So this for me was just, it's kind of revelatory. And even more so was the fact that I apparently was good at it that night.
Yeah.
I guess you would call beginner's luck, except we were all sort of beginners. So I actually made it to the Final Four that night, and I got knocked out by the commissioner's wife.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, there's always rules in rock, paper, scissors. First off, there's only 3 throws. Rock, paper, and scissors. You have to throw scissors vertically and paper horizontally. When you do your throw, when you go rock, paper, scissors, shoot, that's called your prime. The rock, paper, scissors part before you shoot. So it's a 3 prime shoot, so it's like shooting on 4. 1, 2, 3, then shoot. And you have to keep it in sync. If you throw late, throw too early, then violating those rules will get you a penalty card. You have to win 2 out of 3 best of 3 matches against an opponent to advance. If you're fast enough, sort of, you could throw like maybe a split second like after your opponent. It's actually in the strategy guide. It's called shadowing, but it's really tough to master. A lot of people sort of try to shake it up a little too much when you can get somebody by just throwing the same thing a few times, because they think you won't keep going for it, but then you totally go for it.
Do you ever go easy on someone that is an amateur?
No, I never try to. If they win, it's because I'm just not good that day, or they're just better. But I never actually try to let anyone win.
What happens when our mutual friend beats you? Does it make you frustrated?
Yes, it does.
It does?
Yeah, I'm going to come out and admit that now. I plotted out 6 throws. I said, all I'm going to need to beat this guy is 6 throws. I beat him in 4.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, also at the time, we had kind of a rivalry going on.
Oh, you did? A little head-to-head action?
Yeah, we were kind of not the best of friends at the time.
Can it get pretty heated at the
Oh,
RPS
it wasn't
tournaments?
entirely about rock, paper, scissors, actually. It just carried over into the season, but I felt some measure of satisfaction from that. But no, he's really good. A lot of people are just really, this dude was like Rookie of the Year that year. The name Frank came because I was going through my Sinatra phase. The number 13 was because I find the pairing of name and number, it has this sort of robotic connotation. Short Circuit, Johnny 5. So I just kind of thought that sounded cool. When I started playing rock, paper, scissors, the first night I went, I tried to think of a name to go by because everyone uses a nickname. And I tried and I tried and I tried, and by the time it was time for me to just sign up, I just said, screw it, Frank 13. And it's what stuck.
Now, is it true that you had a documentary made about you? You don't like? How do you feel about it? Have you seen it?
I have seen it. It actually premiered at the Philadelphia Film Festival back in '08. And it was interesting because watching yourself through this sort of objective lens, it's weird. So it was basically kind of focusing on, I mean, you know, kind of broadly about the sport, but focusing in depth on me. And maybe I just kind of revealed more than I should have.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you feel like they were sort of invasive, or were you just very, very open and vulnerable, you know?
I gotta compare the camera, and even now, maybe I shouldn't be going into this now.
No. I think it's interesting when someone opens their life like that. You know what I mean? I think it's hard.
I kind of compare a camera to Wonder Woman's lasso. It's like, you know, you feel like you're almost compelled just to tell the truth about things, just to be that open. And I think maybe I do have a tendency to just be a little too open. Also, there were moments where it was kind of like, there were moments that were captured that, divorced of their proper context, sort of made me seem a little jerkier than I normally am, and at times a little more miserable. And then there are moments that, even within their proper context, do that. So, really, it's kind of just sort of me. And I don't know. I mean, it was well made, and they obviously kind of, I don't know. I just.
Did you talk to them?
It's a major festival.
At all? And say maybe I was misrepresented?
I think at the time, part of my issues were also just from an objective standpoint as well. But also the fact that in the film you almost never see me win. Almost every time, except for one time. And only like hardcore RPS players, like global RPS players, will get the significance of who I beat in this. It's like one of the best guys I've ever seen. But every other time you see me play, I'm losing. And I get what they're saying. They're trying to make this an underdog kind of story, but it's like, even Rocky had to win sometime.
Yeah. Do you think you were more upset that they showed you losing so much than the other stuff?
That was part of it. That was, it was just...
It's tough when you're editing, you know what I mean? Because then they tell the story the way they see it instead of maybe how you...
I feel like maybe it was sort of fitting into this story that they wanted to tell, this kind of Rocky-ish story. There were definitely clear parallels to Rocky that they were trying to draw. It was the work of talented filmmakers, to be sure. I just don't know if it totally was,
accurate.
Last I saw it, actually won an award at some festival. And last I heard from them about it, they had cut it like 5 times since then. And they probably cut it a bunch even since last spoke to them. So who knows?
Now, what does your family think about rock, paper, scissors?
They're tired of me talking about it.
Really?
Well, it's been 6 years. I just got a Lifetime Achievement Award.
You
from
did?
the league, actually.
Congratulations.
There was like, I want to say 6 of us, but there were only 6 of us who were there. I think maybe another 4 or 5 who weren't at the turn. It was at the city championships. And they had trophies for all of us, and it was kind of like I call it like the first class of the Hall of Fame, more or less. It was just guys who had been in the whole thing from the beginning. It's
very funny because you definitely have a confidence and a swagger when you talk about RPS, and then everything else you're very humble.
Well, rock, paper, scissors, and that's the thing. I really shouldn't when I talk about RPS, because I feel like everyone has stepped up their game so much that now it's like I have to fight to, really keep up.
Well, that's great. Okay, well, thank you so much for talking with us today. And before I go, do you want to show for all the fans out there your proper style to throw? What's proper style? Here, I'll even play you.
I have to get the count.
Oh, okay. I don't want to ruin your game. Am I playing you? Okay, so it's like 1, 2, 3, and then shoot, right? Okay. We don't actually do the thing.
Yeah, physical contact.
Oh, physical contact is barred. Okay. Okay, so I won our first match.
Yes, you did.
Don't be mad at me. Thanks again, Andre. I really appreciate it. Okay.
You can actually go as a spectator.
Okay.
But it's much better to play.